Hey guys, welcome back to Bearded Lumber. Matthew and I appreciate you tuning in. We're out here in the yard, and this morning, first thing, we went up on top of the hill and hauled down this pile of maple. It's been sitting here waiting, and now we're going to talk. This video is going to be about how to add value to your logs, and this should do it. So hang on, we'll be right back. Okay guys, welcome back. I hope you find this interesting. It's very interesting to me. This pile of maple, it represents a significant amount of money that Bearded Lumber has tied up in logs months and months and months ago. Some of these probably a year ago, and we've had them up on top of the hill in a semi-shady spot up on a knoll where they wasn't sitting in no water, and we're hoping, and by the looks of them, they've done exactly what we wanted. They have spalted and they have gone ambrosia, and ambrosia comes from little beetles. Now, Matthew will show you this log. It looks like my grandkids got out with a BB gun. Look at the holes in that thing. Now, every log didn't do that, but this one did. If all those are ambrosia holes, oh my goodness. So, for your benefit, I'm going to take the saw the end off of maybe one or two of these, and we'll see how much color we gain. Now, we're going to high grade every one of these into 2 or 3 different categories. We got some of them are good 12 footers. The best 12 footers, we're going to high grade into like 2.5 inch live edge slabs. The majority of the rest of it, we're going to cut down to, unless something changes, 8.5 foot long, probably 7s and 5s to eventually be 4 and 6, either hardwood floored or walls. Now, and this is not a cheap product. You know, had a conversation with a customer yesterday. A friend of a friend told him I could make hardwood flooring for him, and in the process of communicating, I got to the point. I said, "Listen, are you on a cost-friendly budget? Are you trying to, be budget-friendly?" She said, "Well, every dollar matters. It's her son's house." I said, "Well, I'll tell you up front, having me cut your logs, dry them, mold or plane them, and hand them back to you is not the cheapest way to put in hardwood flooring." I said, "This is the most high-end way. But we're doing custom. I said, if you want affordable, go to Lowe's and buy some $3 a square foot plank flooring and put it down." I said, "But that wood will have no value to you compared to the logs you want to saw. Just know up front, it's a high value item." This is the same thing here. Your budget friendly people do not spend money on this. This will break the bank. And it breaks the bank for several reasons. 1, it's gorgeous. 2, it's rarer. 3, it takes time for me to invest my money in it to make it this product. We've bought it, we've aged it, now we're going to saw it, we're going to air dry it, we're going to kiln dry it, and then I'm going to have it available for you to buy. So it takes time to add value to this, but in the end, if we move it all through the process, collect all the income from it, it'll be well worth it. In our area, maple's pretty easy to get, so we like to have it available. It's just like white oak, red oak, white pine, yellow pine. And these, in our area, I need to have that because that's what's readily available. I don't worry too much about cedar anymore. Our cedar's gone to crap. Don't worry about spruce, it's not here. Don't worry about locust, it's not here. Cypress, it's not here, So,
that's the biggest thing for us.
yeah, I mean, you gotta, in your market, you need to have available what's readily available. Now, there's people in this area that sell Ipe. What's the other hardwood out of South America?
I should know it, but I don't.
Starts with an M. But anyway.
Mesquite.
Yeah, there's lots of exotic hardwoods. I'm not gonna fool with any of them. Probably never, because they're not something I can readily get, and not something I have a clientele to deal with. There's somebody out there doing it, and they're doing a good job of it, and we're gonna let them continue. This is our goal here. We're gonna stay in our lane. The more maple, the more white oak, red oak we can do, the better. So, I get this Stihl 500i cranked up here. Let me tell you one thing about this chainsaw. You do not run it without earplugs. She is loud. But as a quick review, we've been very happy with our saw that we got from Shannon at 417 Saw Shop. First thing in the morning, pump the bubble 6-8 times, compress and release, and normally on the third pull, she's running. Okay guys, we took our Stihl and knocked the ring off of 2 of them here just to look at, and they're completely opposites, and that's what we want to show you. This log is beautiful, it's hard still, and there's ambrosia, it's got a lot of spalting in the end. It'll be gorgeous, and it'll still be hard. Now this one's just the opposite. It's had a tremendous amount of holes. Let me show you the piece. It's down here. This is the end cut off of it with all the holes. The coloring is going to be beautiful inside, but this will never be good enough for hardwood flooring. But as long as it's hard enough, it'll be good for the wallboards. So, it's what you get into with maple. When you're drying it, sometimes you go too far. Bugs get in it, do some damage. It's went too far to ever make flooring out of, but as long as it's good and stable, it'll make beautiful wallboards. So we're gonna go through these. I hope they're more like this. And we got all kind of maple. We got sugar maple, we got shaggy bark, we got silver maple, we got red maple. There may be another variety in here. So it's a wide range of maple in here. In your neighborhood, you may only get the silver maple or the shaggy bark or whatever, or slick bark. But here, in our area of Western North Carolina, it's hard to tell a maple tree by the bark. It's easier in the summertime by the leaf, because it has so many variations of bark. You know, here's a slick bark maple. Here's a shaggy bark maple. This is more probably your red maple. There's just so many variations in our area. I find it easier to just look at the leaf when they're leafed out. So that's our goal, guys. We won't bore you with cutting these. We'll get a couple of them over here, shorten them up to 8'6", and we'll meet you back on the mill. Okay guys, we're back to Sawmill. We got the first 2 cut the length. One of them I didn't have to cut. Be nice to start with a bigger log, but that's what Matthew brought, so we're going to start. We are truly enjoying our laser. I don't know if it'll show up on the camera. It's not the brightest in the world. I get a good view about here, and then it kind of tapers out the rest of the way. But it saves a lot of time over here tape measure. Biggest thing I want to know if the log's got a bow in it, make sure that first cut is not wasted. So we decided we spent a couple minutes over there setting our DCS computer up for all these logs. We're going to cut them at all an 1/8" except for the 2.5 we talked about, and we're going to cut them all at 5 inches wide and 7 inches wide to eventually make 4-inch flooring or wallboard and a finished 6-inch floor or wallboard. We're shooting for mostly finished 6s, but there will be some 5s that come along that will eventually be 4-inch boards. So let me answer my phone, we'll get everything fired up, and we'll run this. Okay guys, we got our first log cut. It was a small log. It yielded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good 1/8 by 7s, and Matthew took one over there that he'll re-edge to a 5. Now, I am surprised that we don't have any ambrosia in this log. Now we have plenty of spalting, but you know, it's got these black specks, but there's no sign of any ambrosia beetle, which I expected to be a lot. But overall, good quality. It's a little soft on the ends from the aging process. I wouldn't qualify this as maybe floor quality, but makes some beautiful wallboards. So I'm happy with that. You know, the goal is to add value to our wood, and this is one way of doing it, by aging it and then upscaling it, upsizing it to be floorboards, wallboards, something. So we just got you seen the pile, we just got a lot of them to do. So we're gonna, this is I would say a red maple. The other one here is different, silver maple. We'll open it up and look at it and see the differences real quick, and then we got to get to sawing some wood. So let's get back to it.
bet.
Okay, guys, that's a complete surprise. I figured we'd see a lot of ambrosia beetles. Hadn't seen one yet. They'll pop up eventually, but as far as spalting, this is gorgeous. This wood is hard. I'd put this on the floor. There's no signs of any softening. Once this is dry, this will be hard enough you can walk on. I'm happy with that.
And this is what you get with spalting. You don't know how much or how little you get.
Right, the middle of this board is not nearly as spalted as both ends. And that's what makes it unique. Every one of them's different. It's like opening a Christmas present. I thoroughly enjoy sawing wood like this. So, we're gonna stack these up. Gotta get us some more logs cut. It's already coffee time. We'll be back shortly. Hey guys, welcome back. It's next day for me. It's actually Saturday down here working. Another pro tip, you want to be successful, work when you got time. Yeah, it's Saturday, I ain't got nothing better to do, so we're down here sawing. This video we're covering maple, specifically spalted and ambrosia maple. And I know there's some viewers that have probably never seen this product. A little more unique to the U.S., probably even more to the southern U.S. But maple typically grows yellow in color, whether it's a red maple, silver maple, shaggy bark. I say so many different varieties. But as far as I know, all maples will spalt if given time. Most all these, when they come in, they were fresh cut and they were just yellow. So we just separate them out and set them on top of the hill. And it's been, for some of them, 4 to 6 months, for a lot of them close to a year. And as this wood decays, and that's what it's doing when it's, before you saw it in this log, it's decaying. And once you open it up and get the air to it, then you've stopped the decay. But until that point, this log is in consistent decay. It takes a long time. Maple, unlike hickory, will last longer laying on the ground. Hickory will go away from you pretty quick. Unlike locust, that'll last, hundreds of years. So it falls in a range. Normally, 6 months is about where you need to go, and then saw it. If you go too far, it can decay to the point it's gone. But I wanted to show you the end of this log and let you see the colors that I was seeing before I opened it up. You can see the darker staining. You can see that these striations here are ambrosia beetle stains. And then I just took top cut off of it. And here is a small ambrosia beetle. And then the rest of this is spalting. Here's a couple more little ambrosia beetle holes. Here's most likely another one. There's one coming on down, and right here is a gorgeous one. And then it bleeds into heavy spalting on the end. Now, like I say, this is just the first cut off the top, but you can see how much beautiful color is going to be in this log. If you're trying to achieve the product that I'm trying to get here, this spalted and ambrosia maple, this is what you're looking for. It don't get much better from viewing the end of the log. And sometimes you'll cut a tree that's dying on the stump. It may still be green, but it's in decay and it's had time. It'll go ahead and do this. And when you find one like that, you can make a choice. Saw it right then, or if it's still, good and durable, maybe you give it a few months and then saw it. But I wouldn't wait too long because it's already in decline. That being said, if you want yellow maple, you need to saw yellow maple as soon as possible because this is where it's going quickly. So, beautiful log. As far as color, the log itself, the tree wasn't that pretty, but the lumber will be gorgeous. So, I thought you'd enjoy that. I enjoyed it. When I opened it up, I was like, ooh, that's pretty. So, I don't know what's right there. Yeah. Basically gonna whittle this down to a 7-inch cant and then just cut it to the bottom. So that's the goal this morning. I've probably got 10 or 15 of these left. Need to get cut and move on to cutting something else next week. So enough talking about it. Let me turn everything back on, and we'll get to whittling this down. Okay guys, I cut that down past the middle of the board. Cut it down past the middle of the log, got it into the heart. I want to stop and show you the beautiful colors that I'm finding in it. Now, as far as spalted maple, I don't know that it gets any better. That is just gorgeous. And each layer is going to get even better. More ambrosia staining. Yeah, the beetles did a lot of work in this one. Just gonna walk you through each layer, see how much prettier it gets. I'm liking each one better and better. Got a little defect here, but for a wallboard, be perfectly fine. Wouldn't this make a pretty floor? Like I say, I'm taking the time to show you this because it just don't get much better with maple other than a little defect. If you're sawing to make spalted maple, this is as good as you're going to get. Sometimes you get a lot more white than you want, but this is just gorgeous. Still pretty. And we're right in the center of the log now. And right here in the center, it's not quite as pretty as it was on the outside of the center, but they're still pretty boards. You can see a little heart defect here in this one. Can't use that on a floorboard, but if it holds together in a drying process, it still will make an acceptable wallboard. So there you go. That's what I wanted to show you. I knew before I cut this log that it was going to be gorgeous, but you never know till you open it up. And people that never been around sawmilling, They ask me, why do you like to do it? It's hard work. You know, it is hard work. But I've done worse. Done a lot worse. But most jobs don't give you the benefit of opening a present every day and seeing what's new. I've done production work in my early working days, and I hated it. I pity you people that's on an assembly line or doing different things that's overly repetitive. Then I spent 10 years in the soda business and another 25 years in the food business. And both of those industries are repetitive in that you're seeing a lot of the same customers, doing a lot of the same things, but every day is different. One day the sun's shining, one day it's raining, one day it's snowing, one day this customer's nice, one day this one's not. You know, it is always different. And that's what I like about sawmilling. Every day is a new adventure. Every log's a different outcome. Some's pretty, some's not. You know, you take your enjoyment where you can get it, and I enjoy this. It don't get any better than opening up a new log that you know is going to be something special, and just seeing how special it can be. Because I look at wood two different ways. One, it's profitable. It's money. I want to make money off of it. Two, it's gorgeous. It has an artistic value created that you and I can't recreate. And I guess thirdly, it has a value to somebody that's going to buy it, and they're going to build something out of it, put it in their home, or build a product to sell to somebody else. This is going to eventually end up in front of a set of eyeballs of somebody that loved it and was willing to pay money for it. And I try to harken back to my days before all this sawmilling, when I bought lumber for pleasure to build something that I had envisioned in my mind that I wanted to have an outcome of. And I try to remember that feeling when I was a lot younger of taking a raw wood product to somebody to machine into a finished product that I could put back in my house. And 35 years later, I'm still looking at it every day and still enjoying it every day and still finding features that, you know, I didn't know were there the day before, you know. So bear that in mind. Yes, wood is valuable. Wood makes you money. Wood puts food on the table. It's what, you know, makes Matthew and our world go around. But I try to remember this wood has a value to the customer that's different than mine. My value is, you know, trying to produce a product to make a living and to make them happy. And they're buying a piece of this to put in their house to love and enjoy for many, many years to come. Not always the case. Sometimes it's contractors, this, that, and the other, whatever, you know. But as a general rule, the person that's going to spend this kind of money for a finished product has seen some value in it, and you ought to slow down and take the opportunity to talk to them and enjoy what they're seeing in your wood that maybe you're not seeing anymore. You've seen too much of it. So, long-winded answer to just tell you that this is beautiful stuff, and whoever buys it for the price point it's going to be at will be overjoyed to have it. So, I hope that helps. I don't know where else to go with this video because I just got a lot more sawing to do, and I don't want to bore you with just watching me go back and forth. But guys, I hope you find some value in what Matthew and I do here every day. I tell people all the time, we're a sawmill business that's trying to do YouTube. We're not a YouTube channel that's trying to do sawmilling. This is what we do. That's what we're passionate about. That's what we do every day. It's why I answer my phone at 9 o'clock at night from a guy from New York that's wanting wood in Nevada. Okay, you know, that's why I answer my phone. That's why I do it. I'm animated about it, and I hope you are too. And if you ever get to the point you're not, maybe it's time to do something else. And like I say, I worked in the public sector my whole life, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, I hated the getting up early and go to work part of it, okay? Nobody likes that. If you're telling me to do, you're probably a liar. But as far as dealing with the people, the work, what I did, I found great value in it. And at the end, when I didn't find value in it, it was time to get out. You know, I had grown to the point, and my life had grown to the point My business had grown to the point that I just didn't find no value in what I was doing over there anymore, and it was time for me to go. If you ever get to that point, then you'll know it's time for you to go. Life's short. We go around this world one good time. Good Lord give us one opportunity. You got to work. You got to provide for your family, but you also got to enjoy the journey. And I hope you do. Find something. And I struggled with this my whole life. I've been wanting to do this, not sawmilling, but this, being self-employed, since I was a young man. But I had a family to raise, had bills to pay, I had obligations and expectations, and it just wasn't in the cards till I got older. And it may not be in the cards for you till you get older. But if you got that goal, keep working towards it a little bit at a time, and you'll get there. At some point, you'll have to take a leap of faith. You'll have to step off. Don't do that without great thought and understanding that, you know, there's a big difference from getting a paycheck every week just because you showed up. Now you get paid occasionally because you work hard. You know, it's great. I love it, but it comes with its own challenges. There's no more of clocking out at 4 o'clock and go brain dead till the next day. No, I think about what I do down here a lot. I constantly is an overstatement, but I think about what we do a lot. There's a lot going on in my mind, a lot I'm keeping track of, a lot I put on paper to take out of my mind, but there's a lot that goes into being self-employed, and maybe we'll sit down and talk about that one day. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can hear my grandkids out playing around the house this morning. That stuff I missed with my own kids because I was working 10, 12, 14 hours a day trying to put food on the table. Yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, and that's what I did as a young man. I worked day and night, made good money, can't complain, you know, raised my family, but you get taken advantage of in your youth. Everybody does. You're ambitious, you want to work hard, and so you got some older manager that just abuses you, you know. ain't got enough wisdom as an older manager to know how to tell a young employee or a young manager, hey, go home, enjoy your family time, come back tomorrow and be a better employee. Tip of the day. So that's going to do it, guys. As always, we greatly appreciate you watching. Thanks for all the subscribers been here from the beginning. All the new ones we picked up lately. I don't take it lightly that, you know, this many people around the world want to see what Matthew and I do and what I got to say, because I do talk a lot. You know, Matthew calls it word soup, but I hope you found value in it. Big shout out to Matthew and Solomon doing our videos as always. That takes a load off you guys that are YouTubers and business owners. There's a lot there, guys, and without their help, I probably wouldn't do YouTube. Just wouldn't have time for it. But if you get a chance, give Solomon a check out on his channel, Third Beard Fishing. As always, wood miser is a great asset to Beardy Lumber. Couldn't do it without him. Joe Main is a friend of mine, and I tell people about Joe Main because I like him. He's a good help to me, and he can be a good help to you. If you need anything from blades to equipment to just help, give him a call. He'll be glad to help you out. His information is in the description. Whew! I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back at the mill.
Thank you for watching. Here's a video selection and a playlist suggestion. Click here to subscribe for more great content. We'll see you at the mill.